Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sam and Ming Show, the S&M Show, broadcasting live from the home of the comic book men, Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. My name is Ming Chen, sitting across from me. She's all about that bass. Samantha Quintas. Is that a dated reference now? Am I just way behind?
So.
Am I way behind?
I think so.
I still like that. Of course, I just discovered it.
Well, it's funny too because
hey, this has got a nice beat.
I generally try not to look at like singers, what they look like, and I looked what she looked.
I don't even know who sings. I don't even know.
I forget her name.
Okay.
She's someone like unimportant to me, but I looked her up.
Okay.
And she didn't look a fucking thing like I thought she did.
What did you?
And then she has like a very. I don't want this to be construed as like racist when I say it, but she almost sounds like she might be African American.
I would have thought she would.
She's like white with blonde hair.
Oh, okay.
And like
That's cool.
like really puckered up pink lips.
I would have in my mind. I would have pictured her looking more like Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
That's kind of like a shorter, kind of big bootied girl.
Right.
She's like white with blonde hair and like these like pink pouty lips, and I'm like,
she looks more like what Alicia Silverstone.
Yeah, like kind of, but like a heavier set. And I was just like, whoa, I didn't see that one coming at all. At all.
She doesn't chew up her food and like feed it to her kids like a bird.
No.
Okay.
She doesn't baby bird it to them.
She doesn't baby bird it. Okay. All right. Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Actually, broadcasting in the morning.
Yeah, this morning show in the morning.
Well, this is the beauty of podcasting. You do whatever the hell you want.
Hell yeah.
Do whenever you feel like it.
Yeah.
We try to stick to a schedule. But
I have a job. And for the next, actually, I think like every Monday in December, I'm working late because I just took over the visual merchandising in my store.
Step up?
Step up. Our managers, we all kind of switch roles.
Okay.
This is like a very important, obviously, visual merchandising the store is like huge.
Right.
And my particular company, what we do is we do floor sets like overnight. When I worked at Lululemon, our like visual merching was like 3 hours before we opened on like a Thursday.
Okay. Did it feel rushed?
A little, but it was more of that like merch in the moment kind of mentality. So like when you're doing things on the floor, just any given day, you can move something and reset it somewhere else.
Spontaneous.
Yeah. And the same goes for where I am now.
Work with the flow. Eat low, I Ching. Take life as it comes.
Exactly. But they do, it's once a month, they have like a half floor set, which you change a few things around, and then a big floor set where literally you touch every piece of clothing in that store and move it somewhere else.
Yeah, I watched you for a second. I came in the other day.
You watched me. That was one of like our like half floor sets we did.
Yeah.
So last night we had our big floor set.
Is this where you dress the naked mannequins?
No, actually, they're dressing naked mannequins today.
Okay. And you don't just have the regular mannequins where they're just standing and like one arm's down and one arm's cocked.
we got these.
Yours are like all bent
crazy.
over.
We have obviously we're an athletic store, a performance wear store. So we have mannequins in poses. Mm-hmm. So we have a tree pose mannequin, a warrior mannequin, and Trikonasana, which is triangle pose mannequin. And then we have a bunch of mannequins that are like doing a quad stretch.
Yes.
And two that are actually running.
In motion.
So
how do you dress those?
Well, their legs come off.
Okay.
Like they're magnetized, but I mean, it's hard. Like it's definitely not something that one person generally can do. You have to be like very talented. Like you usually need like two people or like one person and a wall.
Okay.
To kind of prop and push. But it's difficult.
I did it once. We have mannequins in here. We have them in here. If you look. Oh wait, actually, are is that covered? I can't see it.
No, it's not covered. It's covered during the show.
Okay, yeah, that's right. And we have mannequins where I dress them up in costumes from Clerks 2.
Yeah.
So I had to do Rosario Dawson. And
did you touch the mannequin inappropriately?
Well, it's a male mannequin, so it's flat in front. And I put the tank top on, and I'm like, something's not right here. Like, I need boobs.
So did you get a bra and like fill it?
I didn't get a bra. I think I just got I did like what any 12-year-old girl did. I wadded up paper. I stuffed it down the front.
Nice. I'll have to look at her.
And I did that. They were kind of they're a little lumpy.
Yeah, well,
they're kind of lumpy, but got the job done.
So that's what I texted you last night, or I guess you would say early this morning with my list of topics, all two of them that I wanted to talk about.
It was 3:21 a.m.
It was 3:21.
Why are you texting me at 3:21 a.m.? Why are you up at 3:21?
Well, I only got out of work at 3:00.
Wow. Okay. All right. Like when you do it at night, though, it's fun, right? It's fun doing stuff late at night.
It is actually because the store's closed. You know, I mean, like you don't really actually have to worry about being nice to people, having a particular like retail persona, selling things, reaching a sale quota.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about any of that.
No one's watching over your shoulder. You can take it. You can take
exactly.
it. Not easy. It's more laid back, though.
It's a little more laid back, but I mean, definitely, it was my first flip. Our flips don't necessarily have like a huge success rate. They're
What's a flip?
That's where you like flip the store. You just flip everything around.
Is that like flipping a table?
Yeah, except,
in anger.
Yeah, that's pretty much how you get at the end of the night.
Okay.
Like the last hour is like a mad rush to get everything done. So it was my first one. I wanted it to go smoothly. Mm-hmm. I didn't get everything done I wanted to get done, which
Well, you were worried about potting the next morning. I understand.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I woke up this morning at like my alarm went off at like 9 o'clock or 8:30, and I woke up and my fucking head hurt so much. I was like, was I drinking last night? No, I was working until 4 o'clock. And as soon as I got home, I couldn't go to sleep. I was like wired from drinking coffee all night. I'm still a little wired.
What do you do? How do you wind down at the end of a night like that?
I tried reading a little bit. Usually if I'm reading, my eyes get tired, especially if I'm reading like on a tablet. Because your eyes get tired naturally, like looking at a computer.
So 50 Shades of Grey again?
Well, no, I restarted reading Dan Brown's Inferno because I never finished it. I got like 50 pages in and like was completely fucking bored by it.
Yeah.
So I stopped reading it. So I started that again because it was like the one book on my Nook.
Okay.
So I got about 50 pages in and couldn't sleep still. And then I just really tried to count sheep. I listened to my boyfriend snoring like in my ear. It was terrible. Then my nose started to run. And I don't know, sometime probably around like 5 a.m, I went to sleep.
Wow. All right. So I hope you don't have like black mold in your new apartment.
No.
Or anything like that.
No.
All right.
We'll talk about my new apartment.
You're good. Okay. We have a special guest. We have someone special listening right now. From all the way out west. Samantha Aurelio.
Oh, is she listening?
Listening right now.
Hi, Sam.
Want to give her a plug. If you're out in the LA area and you're not doing anything on Friday, or even if you are doing something on Friday, go to her show at the House of Blues in the Foundation Room, 8:30 p.m. Tickets are only $10. I wish I could go, man. I wish we could go.
Oh, yeah. It's funny, too, because I actually...
Wish we could go.
I really just decided... I was actually talking to Sam the other day via text, and I, missed her so damn much that I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. Next vacation I go on, I'm going to L.A. I'm going to go out to L.A., see Sam, see everyone I know out there, most importantly her. And I was just like, you know what? That's it. I want to go to the West Coast. I want to go to California. I'd rather go on a vacation to see my friends. My boyfriend has a whole bunch of people that he knows out there, his best friend and his old band members out there. I'm like, fuck it. We're going to LA.
Yeah, it's tough though, isn't it? There's life, which is I'm going to go to LA, I'm going to go hang out with Sam. And then there's life, which is...
I have to podcast with Ming 24 hours a day.
No, there's not that. But there's
fucking
life
tyrant.
where you look at your bank account and it's I got this shit.
But we're kind of due for a vacation. I'm definitely due for a vacation.
I know.
So,
vacations are expensive though, man.
Hell yeah, they are. Unless you're Ming Chen, you just get to go on vacations for free.
Hey, when I travel, I know I've traveled a lot this year. When I travel, that's work, man.
No,
that's work.
No, you go 2 or 3 days before. You stay a week and a half afterward.
True.
That's not work. That's avoiding your family.
It's not avoiding my family. First of all, going to conventions, that's work, man. You try.
That's work.
Samantha, Sam Q. You try sitting behind a table, being nice to hundreds of people.
Yeah. It must be
8 by 10
being
glossies
adored.
and taking pictures with people. You try doing that for 3 days straight.
It's real fucking tough work.
Oh, it's tiring.
Sure. Okay.
Oh,
okay.
man.
So your conventions are work and they're not vacations.
It's work.
Okay. So how many days was the convention in Atlanta? Just answer my question before you divulge.
It was 3 days. It was Friday through Sunday.
And how long did you stay in Atlanta?
I was there for 3, and then I stayed another 2.5. So what is that? 5.5 days?
Okay.
Oh, I got there a day early, so 6.5 days.
Okay, so we're talking 50% there. Mm-hmm. when you were in LA,
Okay.
how many days was the convention?
It was 3 days, Friday.
And how long did you stay in LA?
I was there for a week. Solid week.
Okay. So
I recorded 10 podcasts.
That doesn't matter. That's not work. That's just life for you. Okay, so when you went to Houston, how long was the convention?
It was 3 days. No, it was 4 days. Friday to Monday.
4 days.
Yeah.
How long were you in Houston?
I was there for, let's see, a week. I was there for a solid week. Yeah.
And you're going to New Orleans this week. And what days for the convention?
It's Friday to Sunday, 3 days.
And which days are you going to be in New Orleans?
I'm leaving tomorrow, and I get back Monday, so that's like a good solid 5 days.
Blow me, mister. This isn't my fucking vacation.
Is that an invitation?
Like, seriously. Oh, yeah, it's so tough being
It's work, man.
You're like Alton Browning around the world, fucking eating food everywhere.
I am.
Oh, man.
I'm just saying. It's a work trip.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's a thing called work-life balance, where you work and you also live. Balance. I balance out 3 days of work, 3 days of, and some of those days where I'm not at the con, I'm holed up at a coffee place, working, getting stuff done. You know, things don't take care of themselves by themselves. Things don't happen around here by themselves.
Yeah.
I have,
Hang on a sec.
And podcasts don't get recorded by themselves. Even when I'm not here, I'm recording when I'm out. So that's work. That's work, man. Okay, yes. I am trying to convince you and everybody. I know you're looking at me. You're like, how dare you? How dare you call that work?
Yeah, how dare you?
And I say the same thing. Do you consider this work, podcasting?
No.
Yeah, I can. If it is work, it's so much fun that it doesn't feel like work. But you know how we're always making fun of Brian,
yeah,
because he doesn't have a job and he doesn't work except for even the show. I don't consider that one.
Yeah, no,
I consider that the freaking lottery.
I was to say, yeah, I don't really consider that work.
I remember I saw a tweet from his girlfriend going, I wanted to do something, but Brian had to go off and work today, meaning he had to go record Tell Him Steve Dave. She was calling it work. And I was like, come on. We're like, seriously?
Well,
Seriously? As that is not work. That is not work. So we are live right now. You can tweet us. I'm at Ming Chen 37, and you are at
The Zen Librarian.
Yes.
And I never spell it.
We have tweets in already.
I was going to say, like, I'm reading this. Like, we have like
tweets,
50
man.
fucking tweets
We
coming
got
in.
tweets.
Jesus.
Will Wilkins, without whom we wouldn't be live right now.
Yeah.
Without whom we wouldn't have a network. Without whom I wouldn't be as sane or as happy as I am now. Asks, what's the best way to start doing yoga, Sam Q? In your opinion?
Just go to a class.
It's easier said than done, especially for a guy.
Okay, then go to a class where, take like a Ming Chen status on this. Like, go to a class, see what kind of hot girls are around.
That's even harder.
And then, find the studio where you can find the most hot girls. And then,
that's even more intimidating.
You'll be a little more interested in going.
I'll agree with that halfway. I'll half agree with that.
Okay.
Is it motivation? Sure.
Yeah.
Why not? Does it make it more fun? Sure. But actually stepping into that first class, if it's all hot chicks, that's intimidating.
No, I could see it being a little intimidating.
But then, I'm sorry. I'll continue.
But, well, I was going to say, too, you have to find, like, a teacher who makes it not intimidating. Like, you have to be open when you go in there to saying, like, hey, this is, like, my first yoga class. Because then the teacher is not necessarily going to dote on you more, but they're going to give you a little more attention because they want to make sure that you're having that experience that you should be having.
Yeah, and they'll do that.
Yeah. I mean, like, pending you find the right person, there are some yoga instructors out there that, like, you walk into class, you're like, oh, this is my first class, and maybe they don't give a shit. There are people like that, and I have had classes with bad teachers.
Sure.
But I've had more classes with good teachers. So you just got to kind of go in there. Really, you have to just be open to it.
I would probably talk to people in the area if you know of anybody who practices and ask for recommendations for instructors.
Or just go with like a friend. Like if you know
even better, yes.
Yeah, if you know somebody who practices, go with the friend because then, you have like somebody there.
If it's a hot friend, so much the more
well, Ming Chen,
even better.
Do you have ugly friends that are females?
Do I have any? Well, one, I consider all women beautiful, so all my female friends are amazingly gorgeous. But I mean, in truth, all my female friends are amazingly gorgeous. So So, what was your question again? Oh, do I? No, I don't. No, I do not.
There you go.
I do not.
So yeah, we actually had a few people ask that question today.
We do. Krampus at W_A_G_unit WAG unit asks, "What is your opinion on Charles Manson getting married?" Samantha. Charles. A little background. Charles Manson.
I'm pretty sure everyone knows who Charles Manson is.
Charles Manson had killed a bunch of people.
Well, no, he hasn't personally killed anybody.
No, he had a cult that ordered. He ordered killings.
Exactly.
He inspired killings. He
manipulated, people into killing people.
Yes, he did.
It's funny too because I know that there is like a huge Charles Manson gets more fan mail than anybody in the world. I don't know if that statistic is a few years ago.
Where'd you hear that?
A few years ago, I was reading.
No way.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's
more than
still
say
true.
One Direction,
probably,
or I don't know, Bieber, or I don't know.
Probably. Well, because think about it too with like One Direction or Bieber. I mean, you have to count in like tweets
more than Mike Zapsik,
and more than Mike Zapsik.
Crazy.
Maybe not more than you though. But people like write to Charles Manson. There's a good number of people who write to him. And people fall in love with like that, oh, this man's in jail and, in prison and I'm going to fall in love. Like, you hear that all the time. Like these sick women who go visit men that they've like never met because they're in prison.
Yeah.
So
I believe that's what's happening. He's 80 now and there's a 26-year-old fan.
Yeah.
I guess. And, they've announced their engagement and intent to marry.
It's just,
Samantha Q. What do you think? What's your opinion on this? What's your opinion on any prison marriage?
My opinion on any prison marriage is kind of like, what's the point? Unless like maybe, I don't know, maybe you knew the person before they went to prison and you were getting married anyway. I don't know. You have to get married to adopt their children, whatever, legal, whatever that is. But, in Charles Manson's case, he does manipulate people.
He does.
Like, and he's 80 years old and marrying this 26-year-old moron. Like, who's getting anything out of this?
They both are. They're both getting worldwide attention.
Well,
that's what they're getting out of this.
But, other than that, I mean, this girl, like, imagine worldwide attention. Okay. So now imagine she applies for a job. People like know who she is because she married Charles Manson.
Yes.
Like, granted, you can't discriminate and not hire her, but like, who would fucking hire somebody like that?
You put that on your resume?
Like, just like if I was like
Samantha Manson.
Yeah. Like,
it's got a nice ring to it.
I can't imagine like being known and just going out places. I don't know. It's all very weird to me.
It is.
And I love reading about serial killers. Like I would love to actually sit down and like talk to Charles Manson and like, not necessarily pick his mind, but really like psychoanalyze him a little bit if I had the skills to do so.
Yeah, as far as serial killers go, like around this table, we have discussed more about serial killers than any other podcast.
Like I love
network combined.
Love reading about serial killers. It was funny. Like we were unpacking all my books, and I have like a huge selection of art books. Obviously, I'm an artist, and then like a huge collection of serial killer books. And my boyfriend was just like, "What the fuck? Are you training?"
Yes.
And I'm like, "No, I just like I like reading about them. I like
fascinated.
Yeah.
So, Brian and Walt, big fans of serial killers.
Oh, that's probably because they both are serial killers, for all we know.
Wouldn't shock me. And now you've been added to the mix.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you go on, there's a website. I think it's like Crime Library or something. There are outlines on all of them.
Yeah.
Gacy, all the way to even the Lindbergh murder. He wasn't a serial killer.
Yeah.
But Lindbergh, the Green River Killer, BTK. How many?
Jack the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper. How many more can I name? There's some.
Oh yeah,
crazy ones out there.
There's tons of them. You read what makes them tick, and it's just. I find it fantastic. Would I ever fucking marry one of them? God no.
I think
like Jesus Christ, that's just. I mean, like, granted, like they're not going to kill you if you're pretty much going to be in jail for the rest of your life, but like, the fuck would you do
as far as stability? Well, they're stable.
It's true.
Stable, but good providers probably not.
No, and
they make what $1 an hour in the laundry. Yeah,
like
probably not.
Little bit of infamy. You want to fucking.
Yes.
You want to like marry a serial killer? Like, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't want to be going somewhere and like explain like, oh yeah, like, you know, like my husband.
Charlie can't come to the wedding because,
sorry, Charlie can't come to Christmas dinner. He's, you know, he's in jail because he's a fucking psychopath.
Yes.
I just, no.
Charles Manson, conjugal visits.
Who?
Does he get conjugal visits?
I'm sure he does.
No way.
I'm sure.
No way. No way. No. Why would you think that? Why would you think he's earned the right for now? That's like low. That's white collar prison.
I don't know. I imagine if you're gonna get married,
you don't get that
though,
in fuck you in the ass prison.
I imagine if they're gonna get married, they're gonna give him at least one day.
Really?
To consummate their marriage.
What, has he earned it through good behavior? Like,
I don't know. Has he killed anybody in jail?
No, he has not. I don't.
Has he manipulated anybody else to kill anybody else? Not that I'm saying he deserves it, but I mean, like, shit. It's not going to be like it's going to be long or anything.
Yeah. Anyways, so Samantha.
Yeah.
You have gone through. You've had quite a week, actually.
God, I'm like so exhausted thinking about the week I had. It's not even over yet. Like, I still have another floor set tonight.
Yeah, you kind of get hit twice with stuff. We'll start with your big move, though. You've moved into your own place.
Yes. Well, first I'll go through with the actual process of finding the place that we're in.
Okay.
So when I met my boyfriend, I was kind of like homeless. Like, I was kind of just sleeping other places.
What do you mean you're a couch? Like,
yeah, like I jumped on people's, you know, couch to couch. Yeah, like I was just kind of homeless, you know.
I didn't know that. I would have taken you in. Because I don't know if my wife would have.
Yeah, no, that's like a hashtag pray for Debbie, hashtag wildly inappropriate.
No, you're my friend. You know, if
it's true. I could have been like a second parent to your children.
Or a first parent.
No, your wife is like a first parent.
Yeah, you could have been dad.
Yeah, exactly.
You could have been mom too.
I could have been.
Oh, that was hot.
Shut up.
Mom too. My kid's got two moms.
So
it's kind of hot. All right, I'm sorry.
Debbie and I raising the kids together.
Yeah. And you know, doing other stuff. Sure.
Oh yeah,
sure.
Yeah. Wink, wink.
Okay, so you were homeless. Okay.
So I was kind of homeless. So
white person homeless, or
first world problems. White person homeless.
Yeah.
So I was kind of jumping around. Met my boyfriend. You know, started staying at his place, and he kind of got tired with the situation at his place. I was staying there, you know, so we just kind of decided, like, shit, let's do this. Whether it's right or wrong, let's just do this.
Okay.
So we went to a few places, and the last set of places that we went, which we actually found the place that we're in now, is these 3 apartment complexes that were right next door to one another. And
this isn't the trailer park by the mall, is it?
No, this isn't.
Okay, just making sure.
So the first place we went to was like a really nice place, and the funny thing was the balcony. It didn't it had like one little like thing as a divider between 2 apartments. So like presumably like we're pretty much sharing a balcony with somebody. I was just like, I'm not really sure I'm okay with that.
Oh, is it the balcony where there's like one little metal piece?
Yeah,
in between,
one little metal piece,
and it's
that
like
was
waist level, right? So
like not even. I think it was like, you know, closer to like my thighs.
Right.
Like it was real low, and I was just like.
So you're out there, you're like, oh, what a great view, and you look over the dude. There's a fat dude. In his underwear,
I kind of wasn't into it. It was like kind of, you know, it was a nice place, but it was just kind of weird, that whole like idea of that. The second place that we went to is actually the place that we're at now. And, you know, when we wanted an upstairs apartment because at my boyfriend's old place, he lived in the bottom floor of like a renovated Victorian house. So above him, there was, you know, the second floor had had 2 apartments. Yes. And then the attic had like a third attic apartment. When I met him, all the apartments, except for his, obviously, were empty. I know this because the doors were open. He walked around and showed me all of the apartments, and we had sex in all of them. And the one above his, yeah, exactly. The one above his apartment was this beautiful apartment with like these really nice dark wood, like paned glass, like closets and bookshelves.
We're like, why are we living here?
Real beautiful place. Had, you know, the whole thing was carpeted, real nice. People move in like a week or 2 later, 12:30 at night. There's like a terrible fucking grinding noise from above us. 12:30 at night, they were ripping up the carpet and installing tile floors throughout the entire apartment.
Okay.
Now, usually when you move into an apartment, if it's like a hardwood,
yes.
you have to, put area rugs down on at least like 70% of it. And usually if it's carpet, you don't fucking rip it up. Like, it's an apartment. You don't own it.
Unless you want to put in tile.
But like, usually like you have to leave the apartment the way you find it. So like, why would you, especially without the landlord's like, thought process on this.
Okay.
So 12:30 at night, I'm sleeping on the couch and like, above us. They were ripping up the fucking carpet at 12:30 at night. So needless to say, like, Alex and I were just like, fuck that. We're not dealing with somebody above us. Constant footsteps because they took out the carpet.
Yeah.
So at 11:30 at night, 11:30 at night, every night, they moved furniture, they walked around, they argued constantly, we could hear them. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So we decided we wanted an upstairs apartment. So the second place we went to, we walked in, shared entrance with the people downstairs, and I noticed when we walked in, the TV was like super loud. I was like, oh, either these people are like, don't care about noise.
Okay.
Like if we were walking around, they're not going to be like, with the broomstick because like, clearly they're listening to a TV loud, or they're old people and they're deaf and like they just don't know and maybe there'll be trouble. Hindsight is always 20/20. We'll get back to that. We ended up really liking that place. So whatever. The third place we go to.
Yes.
Right next door to the second place. We walk in, it's this tiny, tiny apartment, and there's this very fat Russian woman sitting at the desk. She kind of looked like a glob. Like, she was so huge. Like, I'm pretty sure she was overflowing off the chair.
All right.
So it's like, okay, I have no problem with that. But she was kind of scary because she's on the phone, the Russian woman, yelling like, no, you give me name right now.
Нет.
You give me name. Slower, I have to get pen to write down slower.
Нет.
Screaming. Little apartment, little room screaming. So she looks at Alex and when she walks in, she goes, you here to see apartment? and like we're kind of looking at her like my face must just completely been like shock. She throws the keys across the desk. She goes, apartment across street. You go look, you come back.
You come back. You like?
So like I like look at Alex. I'm like, okay, so self-guided tour. Usually we don't get this. So we walk over.
Self-guided.
Like we look around the apartment. Self-guided. Like we walk in. We look around the apartment. Like we go back and like we're almost like hesitant to go back because she's like scary. So we walk in and she goes, I want you to see Victoria Garden. Like 2 apartment complexes down.
Okay.
She throws 2 more keys across the table. She goes, you drive in car. See apartment, come back. So I'm like,
how?
I was like, oh, okay, this is like a little. I was like, this is like a little fucking weird because when you're talking about apartments, when you're in the apartment, you want to ask questions. Yeah. So okay, whatever. We take the keys, we get in the fucking car without this woman, drive like 5 minutes down the road, and find these apartments.
Okay.
So, like, this is the weirdest thing ever. So, we weren't really keen on the second apartments. I actually really liked the first apartment. Might have been my favorite one that we saw. So, we see the apartments. We drive back. We go and she goes, what do you think?
And what do you say?
So,
I mean, you can't say you don't like it.
Well, yeah, like Alex starts asking her, like, a few questions. She goes, I don't know answer to that. Doesn't matter anyway. And like,
are all utilities included? I don't know.
Yeah, like, well, she's like electric. You pay for electric, and she like I think like Alex said like, oh well, do you know what like an average electric bill is? Something like that. Like everyone else can give us like a fucking number.
It's great.
And she's like, I do not know answer. Probably not important. So. The place that we're at didn't allow pets.
Awesome.
So while we're sitting there and she's not answering our questions, like 3 people walk by with dogs.
Okay.
In this complex, walk by with dogs. Now, this isn't somewhere where you would just walk with a dog.
No.
Like, it's a little recess.
If you're walking a dog, you live there.
So then like a guy walks by with a dog and then I guess the dog didn't want to walk. So he picks it up and he's walking past the window, like holding the dog. So Alex is like, do you guys allow pets here? She goes, no pets!
Niet!
No pets!
Niet!
So Alex says, so the 3 or 4 people that I just saw like walking past, that's like a what? No see, no tell.
Yeah.
And she goes, if I do not see it, I do not know it exists. If I see it, problem. I'm like, this bitch is gonna kill my dog.
Yeah.
Like I was just so like needless to say,
she's making borscht out of it.
Yeah, like needless to say, I was just like this woman. Like I almost wanted to call the leasing like agency up and be like, "Yo, dude, give me a job. I could do this shit so much better."
Oh, I think there's a reason she has that job though, and that it's because she's like an enforcer.
Oh yeah, like I don't even know.
Either that, or I don't want to stereotype or anything. But perhaps this apartment complex is maybe a little mobbed up.
Yeah, like I have
Russian mafia.
I have no idea.
It's like the female Teddy.
Needless to say,
it's a female Teddy KGB you're dealing with.
We didn't fucking go with that place because I was just like, I don't want to have to deal with her. Like whenever there's like a problem or like God forbid we make too much noise, she's gonna come in with like a fucking AK-47 and blow our brains out.
Well, that's the thing is that when you rent a place, it's your place to rent, but the place has the keys. They can come in wherever they want.
Exactly. Yeah.
They can do whatever they want.
Completely. Yeah. So needless to say, we went with the second place.
Wait, the third place?
No, the second place.
Saw 3 places.
Yeah. We went with the second one.
Okay. Wait, which place was it? The third one? I lost count.
This was the third one.
Okay.
The third one and technically the fourth one because we had to go on a car ride for a self-guided tour to a fourth place.
I lump those two because they're under the rule of the...
Yes, under the rule of the
Madame Babushka, yes.
Yeah. So we went with the second place.
Okay.
And so like awesome. We're going good. We're gonna move into this apartment. Okay. We have a very huge couch. It's like an L-shaped couch. The living room is like 19 by 13, so it definitely fits inside of it.
That's slightly bigger than Manson's cell. Okay.
Exactly. So what we didn't take into consideration was if it was going to fit through the door. Because, the stairs go up, the apartment's to the right, and then there's a wall that juts out. So we have to make this fit.
Yeah.
Now, needless to say, I was not there for the couch debacle.
No, you were here actually.
Why was I here?
You were here. Well, we can't really say, but you were here
we can't.
on another secret mission.
On a secret mission.
Whenever it's a secret mission, Walt Flanagan is usually involved. Tell him Steve Davis is usually involved, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, there was pretty much...
Me and Mike are sometimes involved. Is anyone else involved? Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
I think pretty much, you could throw a dart and like hit people's names who were here.
Why we're not, we can't say yet.
No.
All will be revealed next week.
So I'm sitting at the table here at the stash, and I get a text message, about halfway through what we were doing.
Yeah, and intense proceedings going on here.
Yes.
Very intense.
So I get a text message saying, "Are you almost done?" And I'm like, "No, like we're only like halfway through. Like we probably actually had just started." And my boyfriend says, like, I need help. So I was like, are you doing this like alone? And he's like, no, I have like some friends here. My father's here.
Yeah.
The couch won't fit. We put a hole in the wall.
Oh, okay. Well,
so now, like, needless to say, now the pressure's on because like he's texting me that I need to come home, but I'm like actually invested in what I'm doing here.
Yeah, you can't leave.
No, I couldn't.
Can't leave.
So I started to like sweat bullets. So apparently going up the steps, the couch is 3 inches. It's like not going to fit.
Wow. Even taking the legs off. Like I've done, you've done these tricks, right?
It's like not
taking the legs off. I've like taken stuff apart.
The thing is, if we take the couch apart, we can't put it back together. Like it's not like a recliner where you could take it apart.
Well, it's a true sectional then at that point.
Yeah.
But, okay.
It's true.
Okay.
So I'm like the hole in the wall, like right at the top, right at the top of the stairs to the left, right across from the door. There's a huge, like probably, the corner of the couch just went right into the wall. So needless to say, we have to spackle already.
Toothpaste. You ever do the toothpaste?
Well, we have spackle.
Oh, actual spackle.
We actually have spackle from the old apartment. So,
good as new. God, thank God the Russian lady would have chopped your head off.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Like, I can't,
chopped your hand off.
I can't even imagine. Like, she would have been like, you put the hole in the wall, now I put the hole in the head.
Yes. Bam.
Yeah, exactly. So, couch doesn't fit. It's not going to.
So, what do you do?
We have to get a new couch.
God,
we have to get a new couch. So I mean, we went to Value City. We're probably going to just get something like clearance to be cheap, you know, because we're paying too much.
So all this to say, anybody in the Monmouth County area, there's a L-shaped sectional couch for sale, cheap,
$650.
$650 firm.
Yeah,
Must pick up.
Yeah, must pick up.
Must pick up in Monmouth County / Tinton Falls.
Well, it was funny too
because
I saw that Alex actually put it up on his Facebook, and like somebody was really like, "Oh, I might be interested," and I was like, "Thank God, we just need to get rid of this fucking thing. It's like taking up space."
Yeah. Well, we're putting it out there to anybody. Lightly used.
Yeah. It's actually in great condition.
Is it clean?
It's clean. It's in great condition. I love the couch.
Wait, well, hold on. How clean is it?
Very clean.
I know you've done it on there, like probably multiple times.
It's very clean.
Just tell me,
It's very clean. We always put down blankets.
Tell me you had a Jimmy cap on, and like then maybe I'll consider it.
Yeah, we always put down blankets.
Okay. Oh, you do? Okay. Okay, good.
Yeah,
okay,
we don't just bare ass on the couch.
I would.
He had a roommate.
I would. Oh, okay.
So we would like burrito wrap ourselves.
Ew. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That reminds me of the time about a month ago when we went to that place I told you about, the Claremont Lounge with the old lady strippers, and my friend of ours was with us, and she decided she wore a skirt. It was kind of short, and we're like, you know what? Here, take my jacket, put it on the chair before you sit down. You don't want to catch anything.
Yeah.
So so that's what you're saying. Okay. So all of a sudden, those grandmas with their the plastic covering.
So
they're looking a lot smarter now.
So yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the couch doesn't fit. So we just move everything else. We're just gonna get a new couch, like whatever. First day that we're there.
Okay.
We're moving things back and forth, like whatever.
Life is good.
Life is good.
Okay.
So the people downstairs with the loud TV, well, I finally figured out what they are. They are,
What do you mean, what ethnicity?
No. Well, okay. I think I figured out what ethnicity, but I figured out whether they were just like people who didn't care about noise or whether they were old people who were probably deaf.
Okay, and?
They're old people who are definitely deaf and don't actually care about the noise they're making.
Oh, obviously, but how old are we talking here? 60s? 50s, 60s?
Well, they're definitely retired because they're home all day.
Okay.
And they're definitely old because they watch like infomercials all day.
It's so loud you can tell?
Yeah. At 8:00 every morning, they start watching infomercials.
It slices, it dices, it's the slap chop. Chop those nuts.
Exactly.
Chop those nuts.
So he is old, and he's rude. The first day that we were moving stuff in there, my father and I were moving like a bookcase up the steps.
Yeah.
And you could hear the guy going to his wife, "Get in here and shut that fucking door, you fat ass." And my father just looks at me and he goes, "Pleasant neighbors." I was like,
wait, hold up. Who was he yelling at?
His wife.
He called his wife a fat ass?
Yeah.
Oh.
Drops the F-bomb probably more than me.
Which is tough to do.
And
So
the wife at like 8:00 one day, like I said, they watch infomercials. Mm-hmm. I hear her like, "Ah, my God, like, oh my God, that's amazing." Like real loud. Yeah. So I happen to be hanging.
Sounds like Mike Zapsik's fan.
So I happen to be like hanging mirrors by the door. So I open the door and I'm like, is he like killing her? Mm-hmm. Are they having sex? Like what's going on? No, they were watching infomercials and she was flipping out because of something that she saw.
Over the freaking Floby?
And I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. So like, apparently like I am cursed with loud roommates. But like I said, they start at 8:00. They never leave the house.
8:00 in the morning. Mm-hmm. Infomercials.
Yeah. Like,
well, now you know what to get him for Christmas.
So a
juice loosener.
I actually want to see inside the apartment because it always smells like she's cooking. Mm-hmm. It's like almost like a dirty grease smell.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, I want to know like if she cooks a lot. Like, I just want to look in the apartment and see if like the entire thing is just like filled with fucking boxes. But
like the UPS is coming every day.
Yeah. So they're old as shit. Although like, obviously, I've never seen them like leave the apartment or like open the door. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I can only hope that they're old enough that they are going to die within the next year. Like they're so loud and so mean. Like the guy is so mean.
To his wife.
Okay. Just in general. Like I said, he just fucking curses. And like, that's the thing. Like, so Alex said, he's like, can we like complain about them? And I was like, no, like we can't.
You just moved in.
It's our first fucking week. But like it gets to the point though, like I don't want to be like in my apartment enjoying my breakfast and hear like some guy cursing off his wife downstairs. Like that actually bothers me. Like if he's just loud and they're talking about TV.
You can't say anything.
Like the other day, no, I'm not going to, but like the other day they were talking about how R. Kelly is a victim. They were watching a biography on R. Kelly.
You could hear all this.
Mm-hmm. They were watching a biography.
like you didn't have a glass to the wall or
No.
anything. You could hear
I was
this
sitting
plain
in
as day.
I was sitting in my kitchen eating cereal.
R. Kelly. Okay, what
They
was
were
their
watching
argument?
like a biography on R. Kelly, and they were talking about how he's a victim. He's been victimized.
What was their argument?
Oh, they weren't arguing. They were agreeing on this particular
Why is R.
facet.
Kelly in their eyes? Why is R. Kelly?
I guess because he didn't do what people alleged him of doing. I don't know. So all I heard was her going, he's a victim. He's been victimized. The media made it. So okay. That was one thing. And like, that's the thing. Like, if they want to be loud about like R. Kelly being a victim, go for it. I don't fucking care. I don't want to be sitting at the table eating my breakfast and hear him like, F-bomb this, F-bomb that. You're a fat, ugly bitch. I fucking hate you. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, what if I had kids?
Well, your kids would consider themselves lucky that you and presumably your husband
yes, don't talk to each other like that.
Right, that you love them and you love each other and you're not yelling about R. Kelly and watching infomercials. I think they would see how good they have.
So this morning I was a little late today because when I left the apartment, they were yelling.
Okay.
Not at each other. He was just speaking.
Right.
This is his usual speaking tone.
Okay.
So I stood outside my door. So I didn't stand outside their door. I thought that would be a little weird because you can obviously hear when the door opens upstairs when I start walking down the steps.
Sure.
So I didn't want to like start walking down the steps and then like
stop.
20 minutes later open the front door because they would know that I was like sitting outside. Not to mention, I don't know if these people are like creeping out their peepholes.
They're deaf, so they wouldn't have been able to hear you anyway.
So I stood at the top of my steps and recorded a conversation.
So you have this.
I have this.
Okay.
And
All right, what do we have here? This is good.
I'm gonna play it.
This is good. Recordings are good.
So I don't know how well you're gonna hear it.
All right, I think I got your mic turned up here. Just hold it right up to the front here, and He sounds drunk.
That's how he always sounds.
It's like this.
And this is like tame.
And this is This is from your door, your apartment. Mm-hmm. And they're way downstairs. Mm-hmm. And it's this loud. Is it like this nonstop? Mm-hmm. Oh my god. Well, what were they? What's he arguing about?
I don't know. He
wow, that's.
He was saying something about. I don't know if it was like him who was dealing, but he started off. He was talking about somebody. And he said, like, I'm just fucking done with her. She could jump in front of the fucking D train for all I care.
Kim Kardashian? Kim K? I
have no idea. Like
Taylor Swift?
I have no idea who it could possibly be. And he was talking about like 33 cases. I don't know if that's like a social work thing. I don't know if they might have been talking. Her phone was ringing before this.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this was somebody that they knew that they were talking about. Needless to say, that's from my apartment.
Yeah.
That's how clear it is all the time.
It's horrible.
So I'm like, the 30 minutes that like we were in this apartment touring, like that must have been the only 30 minutes that
napping.
this guy wasn't fucking talking.
They were napping.
Yep.
There is sleep.
So those are my neighbors.
Wow. Well, I mean, I want to say it could be worse.
And I know it could be.
But that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Do they I don't know if you've been there long enough. Like, can you hear them like getting it on?
No,
they might be too old for that.
They might be too old for it.
Like, that's scary. That's kind of scary though, isn't it? Like old people like doing it.
To be fair, yeah, like if they're that loud, just talking, I can't even imagine what fucking is like for these people. Although apparently he doesn't like her much. He calls her like he called her like a fucking bitch like at least 5 times yesterday while I was hanging one picture.
Yeah.
it was funny too because Alex had to put together our bed frame, and it was like 8 o'clock at night, and I'm like, you really don't. We have to drill it. I was like, you really don't want to like be drilling at 8 o'clock at night. Like this guy's gonna fucking flip.
Yeah.
And like I was being super nice, like, and
considerate.
Yeah, exactly. And Alex was a little frustrated because I was being super nice and considerate, but like he started drilling, and like you could hear the guy go, "Oh, fucking noise." So, Alex kept doing it. But it's like, God, it was so loud, like the drill, and right against like right against the floor. So we actually had to stop because the floor wasn't level. So he was doing it based on the floor instead of the boards. And, so we had to stop and leave it for the next morning. But it occurred to me like 2 days later, I was like, fuck being considerate at night. Like these people aren't considerate ever. I'm used to like tiptoeing around an apartment because that's what I always did where we used to live. Because his roommate would sleep and had a problem if I like breathed too loudly. So I'm used to
reason 497 why you left.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm used to like tiptoeing around. Today when I was getting ready, I was just like, across the living room. I was like, fuck you.
Had the freaking NutriBullet blender going.
I was like, I'm gonna fucking grind every bean of coffee in my house this morning.
Now, have you guys talked to each other directly? Have they come up and said welcome to the neighborhood?
Nope.
It's like we brought you a welcome basket.
No.
Here's some
infomercials.
Here's some I got this awesome juicer. Don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
Here's some Fratelli's pasta. You just you throw it in the boiling water and it's done.
Nope. Yeah, we haven't met them. I don't even know if
have you passed them?
No, I've never seen. I've never heard.
because they don't come out. You said.
Yeah, I've never heard the door open.
Huh. Okay.
So there was a time, I think it was Sunday night, where the TV wasn't running. Usually, like whenever I walk in, I could look in their window and see that the TV's running. 8 o'clock in the morning until like 10 o'clock at night. TV's always going. They're watching sports. They're watching infomercials.
Yes.
They're watching, R. Kelly.
Like,
what weird documentary? Like, he's not even relevant anymore. Like, what weird fucking documentary were they watching on like VH1? So TV's always going. Sunday, I didn't hear him, and I didn't hear the TV. So maybe they went out to dinner. I can't imagine him taking her someplace nice. So maybe they went out to like the local fucking like McDonald's down the road.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah, and then there's Wendy's like 5 chicken nuggets for $1 a day or something. Sure.
These
so you got a little peace and quiet. You said.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So we had a little peace and quiet. But yeah, man, it's like not even a weekend, and these people are insane.
Yeah. I don't know, man. You'd be hard pressed to start complaining. You haven't even been there a week.
I know.
Complaining.
I'm not going to complain.
Like, can you imagine, like, you live somewhere and everything's going all right, and then these new people come in, like, they start bitching about how loud you are.
It was
all
funny.
Of a sudden.
It was funny too because, one of the guys in the leasing office, he's this very flamboyant, gay guy, and very theatrical. I like bonded with him instantly. He's very fun. So I'm thinking about just like going in there and being like, Joe, what the fuck?
Yeah, like you didn't
tell me.
You know about this, right?
Yeah.
You knew about this.
You knew about this. You just wanted to offload that fucking apartment on anybody. Yeah. Which does suck too, because like we did have a choice of apartments, and we chose these people.
Yeah, well, you're stuck for a year.
Yeah, life partners for a year.
Well, put a hole in the wall. There goes your security deposit. So, wow. All right. Well, I mean, these are the pains of apartment living.
So I
done
figure,
it.
you know what? Like, I figure on any given day, I could probably just sit on the steps and record so much good shit.
Oh yeah, we'll do.
The pod.
It'll be a weekly.
I was gonna say, like, I think we should do like a weekly check-in with my neighbors. Okay. I'm not sure what I'm calling them yet.
Yeah, we need names for them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like hoping one day he screams her name, but all he calls her is fat bitch. So, I mean, that might just have to be her name.
So, asshole and fat bitch.
Yeah, like that just might have to be her.
Weekly asshole and fat bitch update.
Exactly. I figure I could probably like record like just hours on a loop.
Yeah.
I might just even like stick a recorder on the steps and just let it run.
What would you do? You come home, they're like standing in front of the main door, arms crossed, like, we heard you on the pod.
That'd be so good.
We didn't think it was. We didn't like what you said.
That'd be so good.
Asshole, fat bitch, really?
we got together with Raj and woman down the road, and we're gonna fucking kill you.
You guys are fucked.
I was just like, oh my god.
That's pretty bad. I lived in an apartment, and there were an older couple above us. I was on the ground floor. Every Saturday.
So you like it on the bottom?
I do. Yeah, I do like it. I do like it on the bottom.
Nice.
As a matter of fact. Or actually, I really don't care. Bottom, top, behind, front.
You're just happy that somebody's, sleeping with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah. But every Saturday morning, like clockwork at 8 a.m., old couple upstairs start doing it.
That's so
like
weird. Clockwork.
You could hear it. And dude would go 5 minutes. Not long. But it was like an alarm clock, though. It's like clockwork. 8 o'clock.
You'd set an egg timer to it.
Yeah, just the bed it must have been uneven flooring. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. 5 minutes, and then I would go back to sleep.
you just hear it. And
yeah, you're gonna hear me moaning. It was just that. It was the springs.
Oh my god.
And not an attractive couple either. So it's not like.
At least you saw them.
Yeah. Wait. So you haven't
seen them?
You don't know what they look like?
No. I thought
you don't even know what they look like?
No, the first time I heard his voice, I thought that he was Italian. That was when he sounded a little less slurry. Now I'm just not really sure.
Yeah, Will Wilkins asked, did Sam move into the same apartment that Tom Hanks first moved into in Big?
Yeah, like, right? Make a new show called The Asshole Diaries. Yeah, it's
Wait, no, that was actually like a hotel, wasn't it?
What?
That he moved into, and then he got the job.
Yeah.
Then he got the big baller apartment where he had the bunk bed and the basketball hoop. And
and the
Pepsi machine.
The Pepsi machine.
Oh, yeah.
So needless to say, it reminded me of that scene, in the movie Marley and Me.
Yeah.
The dog, he's a columnist. So he uses the stories about the dog in his columns, and then, him and the wife decide that they're going to have a kid.
Yeah.
And she said, like, are you just using this kid to get more stories? I was like, as they were talking the other day, I was just sitting there with the door open, and I'm like, this is like podcasting gold right now.
Yes, it is.
This is like, I'm just going to fucking record these people speaking.
It's crazy. You don't even need a microphone. Just stick your phone out the door.
Yeah, like that's all that was this morning. So I'm like,
crazy.
I have like a nice like recorder. My sister was a journalism major, so like I have like one of those recorders that journalists use. I figure I could just fucking sit there and just record hours of tapes of them speaking, and then one day when I decide to try and get them kicked out of the apartment complex.
All right, so next week you'll get your podcast update with Asshole and Fat Bitch.
Asshole and Fat Bitch.
Yeah. So I have another.
So wait, before we do that, I want to actually know, people are obviously laughing at our stories right now. I want to know what other people's crazy apartment stories are.
Oh God, I would love to.
I would love to, like top asshole and fat bitch. Like, make my day, make me feel like I don't have the worst of the situation.
I have a pretty bad one. This many years ago. I was a young lad just out on my own. Moved into my own apartment, living alone.
Yeah.
It was a freaking bachelor pad. I bought a big TV, had my computer set up. It was cool.
Had your blow up doll in the closet.
We won't talk about that, but what I did do on my own time.
It's true. Did you get one of those like really nice like Asian ones that, like it's like a real girl, or did you just get one at like Spencer's and blow it up?
I kind of like white chicks, so
yeah.
I like Asian chicks too, and I like black chicks, and I don't discriminate. But
well, that's nice. But what you're saying is
like
that your blow up doll was white.
If I had one, sure.
I
would probably lean toward Caucasian.
Okay.
Just
making sure.
If I'm going to spend that kind of money,
possibly a Christmas gift.
Okay. What's blow up doll cost these days?
I don't know. You could probably get one real cheap at Spencer's.
I won't know.
I wonder like where the blow up is, if it's like on her vagina or if it's like her asshole. I can't.
Oh man, the balloon knot they call it, as they say, as they call it.
I wonder where it is.
Huh? I don't know. I've never had one, Samantha, so I couldn't tell you.
That's shocking.
Yeah. So I was living in an apartment. The apartment next to me, there was a heavyset woman, and she had a daughter, probably I want to say 14, 15. And we would see each other in passing. We would greet each other, whatever. I guess after maybe a year or 7 months, 8 or 9 months, I would get a knock on my door, and she was like, "Hey, sorry to ask this, but can I borrow your phone?" And I'm like, "Sure, no problem." You get locked out, whatever. Here, yeah, sure. I gave her my phone. I'd get it back like 20 minutes later. It's like, okay. As time went on, she would keep asking, like maybe every few days. And I don't know why, but I kept I was like, well, what the hell? I just kept giving it to her. Just let her borrow my phone. It was a cordless phone, so I just gave it to her. She'd kind of leave for 10, 20
That's
minutes.
what I was going to ask, if it was like a cordless phone or if this was like cell phone.
Yeah, so this went on for about a month or so. They like maybe every couple of days. I don't know why I didn't even question it. Because you're
a nice person.
I a nice guy, young and stupid. Think the best in everybody. But I shouldn't have.
So you get your phone bill, I'm presuming.
I get my phone bill. Phone bill, normal month, $60. This phone bill, $1,500.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, what the fuck? This must be a mistake, right? Like, because I didn't even process it. I was like, what? This must be a mistake.
Yeah.
She was calling Nigeria.
Did you like
Nigeria.
confront her about it?
I confronted her mom about it.
Okay.
And I was like, what the fuck?
What did her mother say?
What the fuck? And she was like, listen, I'm sorry. This. I know this looks bad, but I mean, they had no excuse. The proof was there. I was just like, what? And I wasn't. I was just so in shock that I didn't. I was like, well, what do I do? I yell at this? Like, how? Yeah. What's the best way to get my fucking money back? And I like fucking. I was just like, what the fuck, man?
Should have taken them to like people's court.
I was calm. I could tell. I met her. I asked her to meet me outside one day, and I was like, listen, man, this is like, what the fuck? Like, your daughter borrowed my phone. Like, we're freaking made like 800 calls in Nigeria.
Who is she calling in Nigeria?
I have no idea. But they apparently, and I don't mean to be racist or anything, but they were Nigerian immigrants. So
yeah,
she was calling. I don't know.
Probably family or friends or something
on my fucking phone.
So did you ever get your money back?
So yeah, I've never been one to really fight or be confrontational. As I was talking to this one, I could tell she was fucking scared, and it was a weird feeling because I never had
somebody I'm terrified of you. Yeah,
I'm 5'4". Like no one's ever terrified of me.
Yeah, you're like
at this
a pussy.
moment, she was like, "What the fuck?" So I was like, "Listen, like you got to pay this back, man. I don't have $1,400." And she's like, "All right, listen. I don't have all of it. I'll give you I'll give you like a couple $100 a month, and we'll pay it off." So that's eventually what happened, but. Lesson learned. Don't let anybody borrow your phone. But even now, if someone came up to me and was like, "Hey, can I borrow your cell phone for a second?" Like, I'd probably let them borrow if I could. As far as they were with an eye shot and they looked somewhat trusting and didn't look like they were going to take off with it. It's just one of those things. Like, I probably shouldn't
trust people. Yeah,
I probably shouldn't have done it 80 times.
Well, I was to say, and I mean, now you wouldn't do it because you're handing somebody like a smartphone, which they could steal. They could go through your shit.
But never would I have thought. I was like, okay, she's calling someone across town or something. Yeah. Never would have thought she's fucking calling Nigeria.
There you go.
So ever since then, and ever since I started getting those emails saying that, ever since I gave my bank account number to that dude who emailed me that one time,
Why would you
give you that money back, Ming?
Yeah.
Why would you give your bank account number to somebody?
Because they said like there were, they needed to.
Princes.
Yeah, and there was a prince that said he was going to deposit $50 million, and I was going to get half of it if he put it in my account. I just had to give him my bank account number, and I was like, all right. Well,
you actually fell for that?
Well, I mean,
what is it with you and Nigerian people? Like, Jesus
I'm just
Christ.
saying, I don't want to be racist, but I tend to, I have a problem trusting.
Nigerian people.
The Nigerian race at this point.
Okay.
Like, you understand, right?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyways.
So
that's my bad neighbor story times 2.
Well, I was to say we had Michael Gaines at Star Mike tweeted, and there was a couple I once heard 3 houses away. They had a kid 9 months later. Want to tell this kid I heard his conception. 3 houses away.
3 houses?
Houses.
Have you you've lived with you've heard people doing it, right?
Yeah. Not from 3 houses away. I mean, like, where I grew up, the houses were a little, like, not far apart, but, there was a good, like, 20 feet in between each house, 25 feet. I can't imagine 3 houses down my neighbor, like, hearing them have sex.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all for,
being loud.
Passionate lovemaking.
Yeah.
And all that, but dude, like, 3 houses? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if I'm loud, though. I wonder if my neighbors think, they haven't said anything.
I actually don't want to think about you making noise having sex. I actually would rather
I
would rather actually go through my day just not thinking about you having sex at all.
All right, and I make up for that by thinking of you
having sex
loudly. Which I would peg you for. You're not quiet. I don't.
Not when I don't have to be.
That's right. I'm not quiet either. We'll just put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, not when I don't have to be. But usually you have to be. Usually there's like a roommate or a neighbor or somebody.
So
like
you're holding
that.
back then.
A little bit.
That's no fun. See, it's a tough balance. There's no fun.
I mean, you don't want to piss off the neighbors, despite the fact that they're driving me fucking insane.
But on the other hand, like, screw the neighbors. Like, I'm having fun here, man. I don't care who knows it.
Yeah,
you know
somebody wants to have sex with Ming Chen. Like, holy shit, that is an occasion to celebrate.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, it's getting kind of hot in here all of a sudden.
I know. We're talking about sex an awful lot today, actually.
Yeah, we are.
So,
we are. You want to change the topic?
Sure.
All right. I'm going to New Orleans.
You are?
Yeah.
I'm so jealous.
I know. I wish you could come.
I'm like so fucking
I wish
jealous.
you could come. Bring friends.
I just hate you so much.
Why?
Right
I didn't ask for this. It was presented to me.
Okay, but you're going early.
I am going a couple days early.
Yeah,
because why not? I've never been there.
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
I've never been there. Now, you were there not long ago?
3 years ago.
3 years? That wasn't that long.
No, I actually...
Just for fun?
Yep, I went on vacation there with my boyfriend at the time.
Yeah.
And I fell in love. Like, we stayed there about 7 days, I think. Like, 6 days or...
what was it? The vibe, the architecture, the
everything.
The food, the people?
You know, it's funny, too, because for a while...
wow, so 3 years post-Katrina?
Mm-hmm, post-Katrina.
Almost just... Not just, but...
Yeah. Well, when I went, one of the things that attracted me to going is there's a Six Flags down there. It's abandoned. It was flooded during Hurricane Katrina, and they just haven't fixed it.
Yeah.
Obviously, the water's gone, but, like, it's just, everything's fucking, like, terrible looking. But there's a whole bunch of beautiful, people went in there and, like, graffitied up the entire place. And, somebody went in there and took pictures of it. Beautiful pictures. And a lot of the graffiti, though, is like, people writing NOLA Rising.
Oh, okay. It was uplifting graffiti.
It was very uplifting. Okay. It was very beautiful. Like, I generally like, things that are abandoned and destructed looking in pictures. I think it's especially with all the nature around it. I think it's just a beautiful statement kind of thing, post-apocalyptic kind of world. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to go. Obviously, one of my angels is there. That's how I discovered her. She was my first one I saw. And the Six Flags. Now, about a week before I went down there, I was reading the forums about how to best get into the Six Flags, and they were saying that, like, no matter where you try and go in, the cops are going to get you. They patrol it, because obviously, I guess people...
It's private property.
It's private property, and I guess at first they didn't care. They had other shit to worry about, but I guess...
Who's the asshole who ruined it? He got hurt or something?
Well, that's what I was going to say. A lot of the pictures that you could see now are people climbing to the top of the the roller coaster. And I mean, that's like probably fucking fragile, So you gotta... Don't be a fucking idiot.
Oh,
like, if you're going to go into an abandoned place, don't be like stupid and ruin it for everybody. So they kind of... I mean, you could see there's graffiti everywhere. You can find pictures of it. So they used to kind of be a little more lenient. I was actually watching yesterday while I was unpacking stuff, the movie Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters. Yes. They're walking through an abandoned, amusement park. And I'm like looking at it, I'm like, man, that looks really familiar. That looks like really familiar. Like, I know I've seen this somewhere, but I've never been to an abandoned amusement park. So I looked it up online. Percy Jackson, Sea of Monsters filming locations, and the first one that popped up was an abandoned Six Flags in New Orleans, Louisiana.
You have been there.
So yeah, I've looked at this, I mean, you could tell just by the way it is, the roller coaster looks. So, I still want to go back. I still want to find a way to get in there. Don't ever know if I'm going to.
So how did you manage to get in? Did you get in?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
I didn't. We didn't even try. I kind of chickened out. I was like, I have an expensive camera that I just bought at that point. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't want to lose my camera.
Yeah. Nor do you want to get arrested in New Orleans.
Yeah, I didn't want to get arrested in New Orleans for trespassing either. So I figure, like, if I'm going to do that, then I'm going to, have the money to bail myself out.
Yes.
So we went down there though, just, for the fun of it.
Yeah. So what did you do? What should I do?
I
have no agenda.
I'm not like one of those people who like hung out on Bourbon Street a lot. Like everybody I know who goes to New Orleans is like, you'll probably love it because it's like fucking strip shows galore and like peep shows galore. They're just women that are half naked hanging out on Bourbon Street.
Seriously? Like they're just...
Half naked women.
Okay.
I mean, I definitely saw boobies while I was there because, if you show your boobs, you get beads.
Was this was in Mardi Gras? This is just a normal night.
This is just a normal night on Bourbon Street.
Okay.
So, it's like a party. Even when it's not Mardi Gras, it's like fucking Mardi Gras.
Still
every night.
beads? Like on today where it's like 38 degrees out?
Well, it's not 38 degrees down there.
It is actually. I looked it up. But it's
Okay.
going to be in the 60s.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, like in the morning, it's cold. But, I went down in October and it was like, I always wear jeans. I hate wearing shorts. But I wore like jeans and a tank top every day. So I didn't spend a lot of time on Bourbon Street. I'm just not interested in that scene of partying and feeling like I'm still in college.
Yeah.
There is one bar on Bourbon Street. It's way down in Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
So it's not where all like the strippers are. It's Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop.
Okay.
Oldest bar in America,
I
think?
believe it's on my list. Yes.
Yeah. It's the entire place only has like 4 or 5 lights in it. It's all lit by candles. The only lights are like in the bathrooms, above the cash register.
Okay.
There's a light above the piano. Only a handful of lights. Everything obviously during the day is open windows.
Yeah.
At night, all candles. And it was that whole place was the pirate Lafitte's
Yeah.
his joint.
Right.
He made it.
Right, I think I read a story during Prohibition. They were like, "Well, fuck that," and they kept serving. Like they didn't care. Like
they didn't
no one
fucking
else
care.
cared either. So
That's one of the best things about New Orleans. Obviously, you can walk around with a beer outside.
Okay.
So they'll ask you when you go, is this for here to go?
yeah,
Like
that's all. Like you're at McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you go to Surf Taco next door, and they're like, "Is this for here to go?"
Yeah. So I can take my my Abita strawberry outside.
You can take your Abita strawberry and walk around.
Outside. Okay.
And then when you finish a drink, you can walk into the next bar, get another one, and keep on walking.
Which is how it should be. But
Exactly.
Okay. I like this town already.
So Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop. There is a bar. It's inside a hotel. It's called the Carousel Bar.
That's also on my list.
Also on your list. It's actually a moving carousel. It
moves like one revolution every 15 minutes or something like that.
Basically.
Okay.
So, but I mean, it's moving slow enough, but it's still like, when you have one beer, it feels like you've had 3. When you've had 3, it feels like you have 9.
Right.
So, I mean, it's fucking moving.
Yes.
So it is but it is fun. It definitely was one of the places. It's funny too because I tell everyone to go there, and it's inside a hotel.
Yeah.
So you have to go through the hotel to get there, and a lot of people are just like, I didn't really feel like doing that, and I'm like, well, you missed out on like actually something pretty cool. I feel like if I could like just get my hands on like a carousel, I could put that bar in fucking Asbury Park, and the hipsters in Asbury Park
they
would go
flock
wild
all
with
over
that.
Yeah.
Like that is the kind of stuff that like fucking idiots in Asbury Park would love.
Yeah.
Like a bar that moves. Obviously Cafe Du Monde.
Yes, beignets and coffee on the list.
Beignets and coffee.
On the list.
It's good. Most of the places I went to for food, actually, I don't even know the names. Just little places that we walked in.
I'll find them.
There was one bar that we actually walked into. It was called the Boondock Saint, I think.
Yeah.
And little bar, real like it was just a straight bar, wooden benches like pews on the side.
Yeah.
And we actually watched the Saints game there. So the Saints game was playing, and then in this tiny corner TV, real tiny, like a little box TV, they were just on loop playing the Boondock Saints, the movie.
Oh, the movie. Okay.
So
All right, the big Norman Reedus, Sean Patrick Flanery.
yeah, exactly. Just
David De La Rocca fans.
there was a restaurant right near there, and I know that it was on diners, drive-ins, and dives. It was all I remember is it's the old something, and outside it was like a teapot, and that's what it was written on. It was they had an outside courtyard to eat, and inside. First place I ever tried jambalaya.
Okay.
And I loved it. Which is weird because I don't really like, exotic foods.
It's good shit.
Yeah, exactly. What else did we do? There was Mardi Gras World.
Mardi Gras World.
Yeah, so it's
More it's Mardi Gras every day?
kind of.
Okay.
So it's outside the French Quarter. It's a little down Magazine Street.
Yeah.
And you go down, it's this big warehouse. It's right on the river. And they have Mardi Gras floats there. That's like where they store them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that's also where they make the stuff to put on Mardi Gras floats. And you can go through the tour. I forget how much money, but I think like 3 people were going through it when we were there. It was like, me, my boyfriend, and like, probably like another couple. And they explain to you, like, the Mardi Gras, how the floats came to be, the cruise, the different crews that they have.
Right.
Harry Connick Jr., how he's like fucking huge into Mardi Gras. He has his like own thing going on. They have and then they like let you loose in the warehouse.
You just run around.
And you just like run around looking at these
climbing up on stuff.
Like, yeah, they tell you, they're like, don't climb on the floats. Needless to say, like, we were all over everything.
Yeah.
And you just can kind of see how big they are, well painted. It's actually something,
What led you over there? All right, were you just wandering around the whole time? Like, could I just wander around and be like, oh, this
that was a little far. Like I said, it was, more
Magazine
down,
Street, but I mean,
more
that
down.
in the French Quarter, I could probably just get by just wandering around.
Oh yeah, you could definitely get by just wandering around. We also I went to the Audubon Zoo because I like zoos.
Yeah.
We had to drive to that. That's like way, way down.
Yeah.
And then Nacho Mamas. Nacho Mamas. Went all the way to New Orleans and ate at like a Mexican chain restaurant.
Okay.
Twice in a row because they had really good frozen margaritas. There's a bar next to Nacho Mamas that had like a whole like tap, like 20 or so beers.
Okay.
Drank there. We also obviously I toured a lot of cemeteries while I was there.
Yeah, they're all above ground cemeteries.
They're all above ground cemeteries. Went through a lot of them. Obviously the one that I went to with my angel in it, had to drive around for like 2 hours looking for her. And then, I mean, I knew she was inside a tomb. I was looking for the tomb that she was in.
Yeah.
Finally found it. Got a picture. Then one day we did a bayou tour, like a back swamp bayou.
on the boat.
Yeah.
Thingy?
So we actually drove out probably about 30 minutes out of New Orleans into Louisiana, and we found this great place. And
so you guys had a car.
Yeah, we rented a car.
That's my other thing. They don't have freaking Uber out there.
Yeah.
There's no Uber out there. They've outlawed it, so I'm worried about parking and shit.
Because like I knew if you're only going to be like, wandering around the French Quarter, and then, maybe you take a taxi if you want to go to all like the streets down Magazine Street. Walking around the French Quarter, you could easily just do that.
Okay.
And after like a day there, I pretty much I was giving people directions. Like people would come up to me and be like, do you know how to get here? And I'd be like, yeah, you go down like 3 blocks and make a right.
Can you point me toward Nacho Mama's? Oh, right. That's
all the way down.
All the way down.
But you could pretty much get anywhere. Our thing was like, I knew that I wanted to go to certain cemeteries, and the cemeteries are a little out of town more.
Okay, so you rent a car.
The only one, Lafayette Cemetery, one of like the one that's in walking distance in the French Quarter. It's where, what's her name? The voodoo chick. Why am I blanking on her name?
Somebody gave me her name. I don't have it off.
I'm completely forgetting her name right now. Somebody help me out. And you could see Nick Cage's tomb, the one piece of land that the United States government cannot repossess from him.
The Nick Cage tomb?
Yeah.
All right. He's a vampire, so he's not going to die, though.
Yeah, it's true. But, I mean, he does have one. It does, like, have his name on it.
Okay.
So,
all right. That's a pretty good list.
Yeah.
So, yeah, bars. I have like a list of like 80 restaurants.
Yeah, I was
in like 5 days. I'm literally going to be there like 96 hours.
Yeah, it definitely
coffee, booze, food.
It definitely
in trouble. But.
Yeah, it's obviously I would suggest trying a hurricane.
Pat O'Brien's.
Yeah, we went there for a hurricane.
It sounds so touristy. Is it really?
It does, but
okay.
I didn't love it. I was more for like beer, but
what's in a hurricane anyway? Well,
it just
like booze, straight up booze. Okay.
Yeah, it's just you'll see people walking around Bourbon Street with their big like hurricane glasses.
Yeah.
It's annoying. Like I said, I tried to stay away from Bourbon Street a lot. Actually, I didn't spend much time there.
I mean,
we went on one of those weird ghost tours with this woman named Scary Mary.
Okay.
The only thing that was actually scary about the tour was her. She kind of looked
you didn't
scary.
Get freaked out.
No, but she told us it was a walking tour, and she told us all sorts of fun facts, and we walked by Jackson Square, and they closed the gates.
Haunted?
They closed the gates at night. No, we were just walking by, and they closed the gates at night. And she said, if you look in and like shine a flashlight, you'll see cockroaches scatter. And sure enough, like looked in, cockroaches.
Oh, like the big, huge ones?
Yeah, big ones, just scattered. So Lord only knows where those suckers were during the day. When you walk around the square at night, there's all sorts of...
They were over at Nacho Mama's.
there's all sorts of like tarot card readings and
okay.
psychics. And when you walk during the day, there's like art everywhere.
Okay.
People are like on the weekends, especially people are just selling art.
Oh, okay. So there's a lot. It's vibrant.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, when I went down there, it wasn't necessarily for food or beer. It was more for the art culture. And I kind of just fell in love with the art culture.
All right. Well, I'm just going to take it as it comes, I guess.
Yeah, there was, on our last day there, we walked around right next to the hotel we were staying, and there was the mall. So we walked around. I actually never went up to the second floor. I worked at Lululemon.
Yeah.
No, I still worked at the library. I'm sorry. I worked at the library. But I knew of Lululemon
Yes.
when I went there. And I never actually went to the second floor of the mall where there's like a apparently really nice Lululemon.
That's the one on Canal Street, I believe.
Yeah. So, but there is this shop in the mall that I love that I actually have bought numerous shirts for, and then the company actually, I found them on the website and I bought numerous shirts. They come up with these it's like these shirts. So the one I have is like a pair of headphones, and the headphones are comprised of words of types of music like rap.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's stuff like
word.
that. There's one that's planes dropping bombs, and it says like make peace, not war, out of all those pictures.
Yeah.
There's one with the Mad Hatter's face, and it's made from quotes from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
So needless to say, I mean, when you walk around, you find like cute stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of the Lululemon in New Orleans, I was reading. I plan to visit one when I'm out there.
Obviously.
I like the store. I heard. I guess they just opened up a new one a couple years ago, and on their first anniversary, they held an event called the Naked Jazz Brunch. On their first anniversary.
Okay.
Basically, and I want to get your opinion on this. The first 10 people who showed up naked got a free pair of Lululemon underwear and a free top and bottom it was in celebration of their 1-year anniversary.
So let me get this straight.
Wanted to see what you thought about
So
this.
like, okay, you would have to offer me a lot more than like a pair of underwear that are probably like $20.
Like 28. It's pretty
Yeah,
expensive
and
underwear,
actually Lululemon underwear, like I hate them. They're just not good.
They don't fit you correctly.
No.
It looks comfortable.
Yeah, they're very comfortable, but they actually just like they stretch out after you use. Like,
okay.
They're just like not. Yeah, it's just not like
Not worth $28.
No, definitely not. So when you said like a free pair of underwear, I was like, that's it. Like you're getting like this terrible pair.
Yeah, and a top and bottom. So we're looking at tops.
I assume like the top had to be like a tank top.
I think let's just say you got if you, all said and done over $200 worth of.
Well, a top and bottom at Lululemon is not $200.
Clothes like the men's.
You're talking probably like more like 150.
Okay, let's say 150. Still not free, but
it's not like a bad idea, but like I mean, you know what? Like if I was gonna walk around naked, they would have to offer me more.
Not walk around. You just got to come in naked.
Yeah.
Then you get clothed. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, you would have to, like, so, okay, I walk out in, like, a bathrobe, walk down to the mall.
Yeah.
Drive down to the mall,
Doors
whatever.
open, drop the robe, walk in. It's like, hey, where's my free shit?
Yeah. And then leave. Yeah. And I mean, like, I'm pretty confident with my body. I'm pretty,
As you should be.
Yeah. Like, I'm fit, so I'm not, like, hiding anything. I actually love being naked. I want to institute, like, Naked Wednesdays at my house.
Why Wednesday?
I don't know, I just picked like a day of the week.
Okay.
Like middle of the day, like hump day.
Right.
So if we're already naked, we might as well just do the deed.
Okay. It starts on Topless Tuesday.
Yeah, Topless Tuesday, Naked Wednesday.
Like orgy.
Orgy Thursday.
Okay.
So yeah.
So not worth it.
At my friend's house, we used to have like Wine Wednesday. So I imagine like Wine Wednesday and Naked Wednesday kind of could be the same thing.
Yeah, you got your own place now. You do whatever you want with it.
Shit. So I mean, like I want to institute like a naked day. So like when you get up in the morning, obviously you have to go to work, so you have to put clothes on.
Yeah, but while you're at home.
But while you're at home, like you just have to be naked.
Naked.
That's just kind of the apartment that I want to run. I want like a Naked Wednesday.
Hey, it's your place now. You do whatever you want.
Fuck yeah,
I am for this Naked Wednesday.
Yeah, it's gonna be Naked Wednesday. So
not that you were asking my opinion, but I'm
you're
100%.
You're like, okay, so I'm coming over to visit you on a Wednesday.
I'm not even gonna come on. I'm just gonna look in the window.
Oh yeah.
Even though I guess I should bring a ladder. You're on the
well, it's like
floor.
funny too because I'm so not used to having like windows, like where people could look in.
Right.
So like the other day I was like, in like a bathrobe,
Yeah,
kind of
like,
just tromping around, like kind of like half naked in my apartment. And I realized like at night I didn't shut the blinds, so like they were like open a little bit at the bottom, and like the blinds were like open instead of like closed. I was like, oh shit, I should probably like close the things. Like when I change in the bedroom, my side of the bed is right near the window, and like sometimes the window will be open. I'm like, oh, like I'm naked, and anybody walking by on that road can see me.
Yeah.
So good for my neighbors at my new apartment.
Right.
I'm gonna have lots of stories about this place.
Yeah, and it's a busy road too. So
yeah. So yeah, no, we're good. But yeah, no, they'd have to offer me more than like a shirt and a pair of pants. I mean, like I love Lululemon pants, but you'd have to offer me a little bit more.
Okay,
yeah.
It's not enough.
Yeah, no,
not enough.
No.
Okay. Well, I was reading to see like what happened, if there was any, and I couldn't find anything. So I don't know if they actually went through it. Maybe no one showed up, which I highly doubt. Like, what if you got there, you were they said the first 10. What if you're like, sorry, you're number 11? Like, oh, man.
Well, I mean, like,
did this for nothing?
I like assume in that case, like, you would walk in and be like, hey, with your robe on or your jacket or your trench coat.
Or
whatever.
not, it's New Orleans.
Yeah, or just, walk in and be like, hey, have we reached 10 yet?
Yeah,
if they said, yeah, you wouldn't drop your drawers right there. But if they said, like, oh, yeah,
Right.
no, we're only at number 9 right now, you'd be like, oh, well, whoosh.
Oh, you're number 10?
Unleash the beast.
Yeah. I thought it's not their normal promotion. I've seen they've had other promotions like come in, do a headstand, you get a free pair of socks.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
God, I fucking hate Lululemon. They think they're so edgy.
They are edgy.
No, I fucking hate them.
No, you do.
I do.
Tell me how much you love them.
I love their pants.
Yeah.
I mean, I wear their pants.
Okay, so you don't agree with the philosophy? Yeah, all right. Okay.
Well, no, I mean, I agree. I don't know. Like, I just... you know that scene? You know that scene
that's edgy,
in...
but it's different.
You know that scene in Waiting where at the end... Francis Daly, whatever his name is, he's like, he turns to Ryan Reynolds, he goes, and you think you're so fucking edgy and so fucking hip.
Yeah.
My ex-boyfriend used to say the same thing about Lululemon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that they do think that
you
they're
have
a little
different perspective.
like,
You've seen beyond the curtain.
I saw that the one by us was doing like a bros and brews the other day.
Yes.
And I was like,
if I was in town, I would have went.
Like, it's just nothing for nothing. And I mean, like, I love beer.
I was asked if I was going to go.
I mean, like, I love beer, and I think that everyone should love beer, but I don't know if it's a company's job to be like, oh, hey, we're a healthy company, but we're encouraging you to drink alcohol right now.
In moderation.
I know, but like, it's just like,
part of a balanced
I know,
lifestyle.
and that's like the thing. They're like, oh, it's carb loading. That's like an edgy thing to say.
Plus, their reputation, they don't draw a lot of male. They carry a lot of male gear in there, but they don't draw a lot of male customers. So they're trying to.
Yeah, I get that. But
I would have been there. So like,
I get it. Like I get it, but at the same time, I was
totally going to be like, you're coming, right? And I'm like, well, I'm not going to be. Where the hell was I that week? I was in LA. I was in LA.
You were in LA.
I was in LA.
I just, it bothers me sometimes.
All right, well.
But at the same token, as much as it bothers me, they do try and they do fail a lot.
Sure.
So I love failure.
Failure is, what was that quote that Kevin said again? Failure is your path to, I can't remember. Failure is something, your way to success.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact quote.
Yeah.
I just mangled that.
So where are you staying in New Orleans?
I've been using a service called Airbnb.
Yeah, that creepy thing where you go live at somebody's house.
You basically, instead of renting a standard hotel room, people list their homes or apartments or rooms in their apartments.
Yeah.
And you can rent them out. So first time I did it, I was actually in a shared room, which actually wasn't that bad at all.
Yeah, you were telling them.
Yeah, I told that a couple podcasts ago. Last time I went, got a whole top floor apartment. Awesome.
Yeah.
So this time I found a awesome place. It was right by because I'm staying there a couple days and then I have a hotel for the next couple days that the con arranged. Mm-hmm. I found a place right next to the convention where we're having the convention. It looked amazing. It was a loft. It was awesome. I requested it, got denied. And when you get denied, it just says, sorry, your request has been denied. Keep looking. Here are some other suggestions of places in the area. And at first, you kind of feel bad.
Yeah.
Like, oh, was it me? Maybe, your profile picture's on there. So you take it a little personally.
Yeah.
I was like,
so
why?
They denied me.
Why? It said it was available. Why was it? And they could deny for any number of reasons.
They don't like Asians.
Possibly. But I wrote before you book the place, you can. There's a little box where you can write a message.
Did you just put "I'm a celebrity"?
No, I did not.
You should. You wouldn't get denied if you said that.
I didn't say it outright, but I did it in a roundabout way, which was, "Hey, my name's Ming. I'm coming in for convention as a guest of this convention. Here's a URL. You can check it out." Just basically give them a background about me so they know, like, I'm not going to wreck the place. So you just say,
like, "I'm Ming Chen. I'm Ming Chen. I'm Ming Chen."
Sort of. And I was like, "Hey, if you're going to anyways, but here are the links to my social media if you want to do, like, as much background
I'm Ming Chen.
checking on me as you want." So, Twitter, MingChen37, Facebook, Instagram. Hope to see you soon. And I got denied. I was like, why? I don't know why I felt bad for like 10
So, okay. So obviously you know what the place looks like.
Yes. You got detailed photos.
So when you're in New Orleans, are you going to go knock on the door and be like, "Why'd you deny me?"
I felt bad. I was like, why? Was it, you take it kind of personally. You're like, what's going on? And but I actually got a message back from her. She was like, "Hey, I'm sorry to deny it, but I have people coming in before you and people coming after, and
we just don't like Asians.
And we don't like Asians. And the window in between my two guests, like it's too tight. Like I couldn't have the place ready for you. So it wasn't an excuse, perhaps, but at least in remaining silent, I probably would have beat myself up. But,
yeah.
I got an explanation. So whatever, big deal. I found another place. I'm not from New Orleans, but it's in the 7th Ward.
So you're a little outside, like
outside of the French Quarter.
Yeah, a little,
maybe a mile or so.
Yeah.
And
easy walking distance for somebody who runs marathons.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know what the neighborhood looks like. I don't know the condition. But the place got good reviews. This place I got, and I sent you the photos.
Yeah, the place looks like
it's like this little cottage.
Yeah,
very very clean, very up to date, very modern. This time I was accepted, and the landlord seems very nice. 63 very positive reviews. So yeah, it has a name. It's called Nola's Ark. ARC. I don't know if that's an acronym for something, but it has this whole backyard porch and everything.
Probably like Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's an acronym for anything. I think
Ark,
it's just...
but ARC, not ARK.
Yeah.
Like Noah's Ark was ARK.
I've seen it both ways.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah. I've seen people who can't spell and.
Yeah. But she was like, "Before I accept you, I have answer me these questions 3. 1.
Did she actually put it that way? Answer me these questions 3. I was just saying, is this like some weird poet thing going? Like, I'm intrigued. Is your landlord the Joker?
Yeah, well, you did
or the Riddler?
You did say it was an artsy community. So.
Yeah, it is.
1, can I have the name of the person you'll be traveling with? Which there is no name. I'm not traveling with anybody. So that was easy. 0. 2, do you smoke? Which I don't. Now, the way I phrased it, I was like, no, I do not smoke anything, meaning I don't smoke cigarettes,
smoke weed.
There's nothing going to be
smoke crack cocaine.
Yeah, nothing.
You're not going to be smoking the opium.
Nothing going to be smoked in here.
Okay.
So we're good there. And yeah, no smoking. I don't smoke salmon.
Why would you smoke salmon?
I don't know. And number 3, will you be bringing anyone back, outside into the place with you? Yeah, and I'm like, no. I'm not going to be doing any. Yeah, not going to be doing any of that as well. So yeah, so after that, she's like, "Okay, bam, accepted."
Bam.
Yeah.
Just like that. You should have been like, "I was rejected first."
Now I'm accepted.
Now you're accepted.
Yeah. So so it looks cool.
There's
excited.
On the way. So if you were to walk to the river and make a right
into the French Quarter,
to the French Quarter, okay. There's a really good. I forget what day it was. I don't know if they do it every day either. I was just there, like a little mini flea market kind of thing.
Yeah.
That I walked around at.
I'm gonna look for that. I wish you had a name for me, but
no, don't have names.
These are the kind of things I'm gonna have to discover on my own.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. I went there. Like I said, I went there with a few things that I wanted to do. The majority of what I wanted to do, I couldn't do because it was against the law.
Oh, okay.
Trespassing.
Right.
And it was just kind of like walking around.
Trespassing or public indecency.
Yeah, or public indecency.
Which I didn't think existed in that town, to be honest with you.
I did, like I said, I was sitting at Lafitte's and a bunch of girls, woo! Took their, tops.
And this was like a Tuesday
for
night
a bunch of guys, and they were wearing beads around their neck, and they were like, "Oh, we want your beads. We'll show our boobs. Woo!" I was just sitting there. I was
shaking. That easy.
I was shaking my head the entire time. I was like, "Skanks."
So judgmental.
Sluts.
So judgmental. You, of all people.
I know. Me,
So
with my
judgmental.
Naked Wednesdays. Mike Zapsik, are you going to come for Naked Wednesdays?
Yeah, you've been invited, Mike.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
there. Actually, that's like Naked Wednesdays is like a day at my house.
Yeah?
All
Well,
day.
see,
Do we
All
share...
day-
He started it.
all the time.
I was going to say, do we share a love of naked days?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh,
High five.
all right.
Yes.
High five it
love
up.
it.
Days I do not even put on the underwear.
Ew. That's tomorrow. That's New Comic Wednesday. Mike's not wearing underwear.
You're not invited over, Ming.
I don't want it. Ew, I ain't coming.
Days that you get
What does he do with those comics?
Fuck that. I ain't coming over on that day. Ew.
not you.
Ew, disgusting. So anybody who hasn't used Airbnb, I highly recommend it. Well, you have to be a little adventurous to be living in other people's places. But from the horror stories I've heard, it's actually the other way around. Here's one about a place in 2011.
In New Orleans or just in general?
Yes, a host named EJ wrote a blog post describing how her apartment was ransacked after she rented it out for a week.
Oh, man. Did she get her stuff back? I mean, obviously she knew.
Well, here's what happened. Smashed a hole through a locked closet door. They found the passport, cash, credit card, and grandmother's jewelry I had hidden inside.
Why would you leave that stuff in like a house? Yeah.
Probably not good. Took my camera, iPod, old laptop, external backup drive filled with photos, journals, my entire life. Death-like smell emanating from the bathroom was frightening, and the bathroom sink was caked with a crusty yellow substance. Yeah.
Okay. The crusty yellow substance and the death-like smell in the bathroom, Lord only knows what that was. But obviously if somebody's renting your house, you don't leave your shit around.
No.
Like, especially like in a locked drawer, like a locked closet, they're going to be
take
like, oh, I wonder what's in here.
Take it with
Jams and jellies? No, like you're fucking, why would you leave that stuff? So that's kind of like a bad on her part.
Yeah.
But as for like the weird death-like smell emulating from the bathroom,
So James Pfeiffer says that in New Orleans, different rules for women. We totally still pick up dudes for public indecency. So the dude is a double standard there, but that's cool.
so no showing
Wait,
your...
is James an officer of the law down there?
No.
Oh, we as in like a community.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those people like down there are like all about being a community. I mean, like they all went through Katrina together.
Yes.
Even the people who didn't live there during Katrina still like went through Katrina with the New Orleans people because they're still going through it. So those people like really, I mean, and that's the thing. That was the beauty of the Six Flags. Like, you could be graffitiing anything and you're graffitiing NOLA Rising. Like,
Yeah.
It almost makes me a little weepy.
This dude says he rented a place, came back, there were meth pipes everywhere. Nice. Also found holes battered into his closet and axe marks on the door.
Nice.
Computer and birth certificate were stolen too. Again, don't leave your
shit in your
leave your
apartment
stuff
you're
in there.
renting.
Yeah, so that's
Or like pull up the floorboards and find like a better place to hide it.
Dayton partly blamed himself for renting to meth users to begin with and was happy to accept 21 complimentary nights on Airbnb. 2012, some enterprising individuals in Sweden evidently used Airbnb to set up a temporary brothel.
Nice.
Yes.
That sounds like something you would do.
Me? Sure. Let's see.
I like the way you did it. Me? Sure. Yeah.
2 years later,
Not even listening to you.
2 years later, same practice across the Atlantic. While using Airbnb may save New York prostitutes a bundle, one sex worker told the New York Post, doesn't save them from the dangers of the world's oldest profession. Publicist and renter Jessica Penzari received a phone call from police when a prostitute was stabbed in an apartment Penzari had listed on Airbnb. So, all right.
Okay, so
anyways, most of these horror stories are from renters and not tenants. People rent the place out. So
yeah.
So that's why it worked, because it goes both ways.
It does. Yeah, but I don't know. That maybe next vacation I will try it. Maybe.
I mean, it's a little different for you're a female, but if you're traveling with somebody,
I was gonna say, obviously, like if I was going somewhere on vacation, I'd probably go with my boyfriend with me.
Yeah.
So like it would be different.
Yeah.
But I mean, like it's something worth trying.
Yeah.
At least once. It's like an experience.
Recommend it. All right. So before we go, your opinion on the Kim Kardashian paper magazine layout?
Disgusting.
All right, your anaconda don't.
Okay, so I looked at that picture. It's completely photoshopped.
Doesn't matter.
Like
Doesn't even matter.
Like it's just gross. Like she's all lubed up with fucking oil. Like I don't know. I'm not like I think she's ugly. And, but like, the funniest thing I did see, actually, I have to find the video to post because I didn't want to post it before I talked about it. But somebody cut out the picture of her and put it on their Keurig machine.
Oh, right. And it looked like she's shitting coffee.
Yeah. Well, it looks like she's shitting like watery shit.
Like she's shitting.
Because first it comes out like,
yes.
And then, a steady stream. And then at the end, it's more like,
yeah.
That was like by far the funniest use of that picture that I've seen. And I like the spin-offs, like Ellen showing hers or not Ellen, Chelsea Handler showing hers. I think Ellen did something with it. I don't know what she did.
I'm sure she did.
So all the spin-offs, but it was just funny. But man, I like looking at that picture, like I actually had like a physical like ugh.
Really? You retched?
Yeah, like it's just like disgusting to me. Like her ass is like really ugly. Especially when it's lubed up.
Naked, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it naked, but and you're
a guy. You obviously appreciate the female form. So what did you think?
I thought it was an interesting move for a new mother.
True.
But, this is how she this is
how she became famous.
This is what she deals in. This is her trade. Yeah. This is her moneymaker, if you will. This is how she does it. So
I guess that brings the bigger question about, is it okay, especially as a new mother? I hadn't even looked at it from that perspective. Mm-hmm. Is it okay to be exploiting your body for money? Because, is
it okay? I don't know if it's okay moral, but, is it, can you do it? Yeah. God bless this country.
They have a daughter, right?
Yeah.
They have a daughter.
Yes.
When her daughter gets to be, a certain age.
She'll probably be doing the same thing, so.
Well, I was just like, how do you explain that though? Like when you're trying to talk to your daughter about being responsible and, obviously as a mother,
right.
She became famous. Kim Kardashian became famous because of a sex tape.
Right.
So, obviously as a mother, when her daughter gets to a certain age, she's not going to want her daughter showing her body off.
No.
That's like a motherly instinct.
Or maybe she will.
Maybe she will because Kim Kardashian kind of sucks at everything.
Yes.
So, I kind of imagine that she's going to be a terrible mom. So, my question is like, how do you justify being a parent and like, laying down a law? Like, I don't want you showing your body for money. I don't want you like prostituting yourself out.
You just can't.
But I'm going to like do it like what, a year after you're born?
Yeah.
That to me, it was distasteful. The whole picture I just found disgusting. Like her ass is so ugly. It just is so ugly to me.
You're not alone, but you're not alone either.
Like I like butts.
Right.
I know a nice butt is something to look at. And hers is just not a nice butt.
Yeah.
Like it's just like disgusting.
Yeah. So
but
so you're against this.
I was like totally against it. When I saw it, I like wanted to like retch all over my phone. The funniest thing I did see was Bobby Lou photoshopped his face onto her body.
I saw that.
And a stick in between the butt cheeks. And he said, man, it was hard holding that stick there with all that oil. And it was like Bobby Lou at his finest. Love that guy.
Bobby Lou.
Love that guy on Twitter. Not so much as my goalie.
As a goalie, yeah.
When I was a Vancouver Canucks fan.
All right. Well, magazine sales are dying. So, paper magazine has stepped it up a little bit. And, Kim, this is what she trades in. So, is it more disgusting that so many people are paying attention? Perhaps.
Yeah. I think the thing that like pissed me off the most too is like the caption that this picture is going to break the internet. Like, what a cocky bitch.
Right. Didn't break it, but it definitely.
Like, it's just like, she thinks a little too highly of herself. She thinks a little too highly of her butt, which like she should not.
Sure.
Yeah. I
hear you.
Having like nightmares about her greased up ass cheeks.
I hear you. All right. So that's your.
My daily rant.
What's next for Kim?
Yeah, like it's just.
She'll find something.
Although I was going to say, like, when you start with a sex tape, there's really nothing that you're doing that's going to top that.
She did though. Reality shows.
I know, but like, what are you going to do to be more showy of yourself?
Put yourself in greased up on paper magazine.
But like, yeah, I don't know. I think that she started like at a point where she just was like unclothed and, porn.
Yeah, she did. She pretty much did that already.
Yeah. So I'm saying like,
Oh, Kim.
I like Will said it didn't break the internet, just put a big nasty crack into it.
Good job, Will.
That was a good one.
All right. On that note, I gotta go get my haircut.
Oh, you're getting your haircut for NOLA?
For New Orleans, yeah. I gotta look good.
Oh, Ming Chen.
I gotta look
dolling
good.
Up for the Nolans
good,
people.
But thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening.
I love it.
Yeah.
People dig in the morning.
Yeah, I was just saying, I feel like we're getting more tweets in the morning than we usually do.
Yeah, I think so. People are at work.
Yeah.
Listen.
I'm so sorry that you're at work.
Yeah.
I have to be at work until 2 a.m. again.
Ooh.
I know, it's going to be rough.
Well, you were here.
Yeah, it's true. So for the next like December, I think I'm working like every Wednesday or every Monday night.
Yeah.
Which kind of pissed me off too, because I mean, when I started the job, I gave them like I could work any hour you want me to, except Monday nights.
Right.
That was like my availability. And my boss came back to me and she's like, I need you to work occasionally, like Monday nights. I was like, okay, occasionally, but like I do have like I consider podcasting like a job that I do.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I do have a prior commitment. That I can't.
Well, I appreciate that.
I can't and she was talking the other day, and obviously the December schedule hasn't come out to my eyes yet.
Yeah.
She's making it now, and she's like, "Yeah, I pretty much have Sam on every Monday in December." And I just I gave her that deadpan look, like, "Are you serious? Like, WTF, man?" But
all right. Well,
so for December, I got to rock it at my job. You guys understand?
All right. No, we'll do it on Tuesday. We do.
We're gonna have to figure out a way to drink Christmas beer.
Oh yeah.
At 10 a.m. in the morning.
Well, we're good until 11, and then the store opens, and then we probably shouldn't do it. But
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, brown bag it.
We wouldn't want Big Daddy Walt finding out.
Yeah, BDW. All right. Thank you for listening, everybody.
Yes,
thank you, Sam Q. Thank you, Mike Zapsik. Thank you, Samantha Aurelio, for listening.
Yeah,
if you're in LA, go see her this Friday, 8:30 at the House of Blues.
Yeah.
She's
gonna rock it.
Download her new track entitled "In the Stillness."
Yes.
And and we'll tell you all about New Orleans next week. Yeah, next week. Yeah.
What day are you coming back on?
I come back on Monday.
Okay, I think I'm working on Monday.
All right, so we'll do this in a week.
Yeah.
All right.
I might not be working on Monday.
Provided we all make it back alive.
Is next week Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Oh man, what are your Thanksgiving plans?
I'm going to Ohio. I'm going to Columbus. If anyone wants to hang out, I'll be in Columbus, Ohio.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Boom.
This has been a production of SModCo Internet Radio. This has been a production of SModCo Internet Radio. Sir, only at smodcast.com.